Everything you learned in history class was a lie. Well, maybe not everything, but they skipped the best parts. Introducing Stupiracy, where stupidity meets conspiracy. Ever heard of the Olympic marathon that nearly killed its runners? Or the time a pope put another pope's corpse on trial? Join me, Scott Rizzuto, and Tim McKernan as we uncover the most outrageous historical moments and mind-blowing conspiracies you won't believe actually happened. Tune into Stupiracy for your weekly dose of historical absurdity. Available wherever you get your podcasts. Remember, history is dumb, but laughing at it is smart.
This was by executive request.
Yes, it was. And I believe it was always the Monday night theme, right? It was Saturdays that we started to mess around with.
Right. Saturdays was Dock of the Bay, right?
I know.
Heard it on the
Grapevine, yeah, Grapevine.
And then Summer Wind in the summer after a while, which we got many protests about, Kenny, because people didn't like that.
I remember that. But this organ, which organ was it and who was it played by?
I think it's in this building.
It was in this building, yes. I think they removed it. But Mr. Hubbard.
We met grandfather.
S.E. the First.
Yeah. S.E. the First had a little. We got that music on Sunday nights, right? When we were first here.
Yep.
So it went with us to Monday Night Sports Talk. But one of their big early TV shows, Kenny, was a Saturday night barn dance or something with organ music down where the TV studio is now, and they had a pipe organ. Apparently, they got it. Didn't they tell us they got it out of like the State Theater or something?
Yeah.
Or
theater.
Theater, and put it in down there, and Mr. Hubbard loved the music, and I can't remember who came to us and said, go up and...
The chairman took us to meet his father.
Meet his father, and he played the music for us and said, I think you guys could play that music. And we said, I think you're right. Yep. I think you're right.
Yes, sir.
Being the argumentative guys that we are, damn tootin'. Sounds good to me.
Why are you wearing a tie?
Seemed like the thing to do at the time.
Is it clip-on?
No. This is
He walked in and he said, time to class things up.
Yes, right.
But then you've got the gangster jeans on, the baggy jeans.
I damn near went for a pair of slacks, and then I didn't.
You couldn't go all the way,
couldn't go all the way. Yeah. But
get the short sleeve blue shirt on with a tie.
But here's the deal.
Yeah.
This poor tie has been hanging on a clothes hanger in the tie.
Did you have to dust her off?
In the
shake her off?
Call the closet.
I think my stepson moved to Florida. He's back now, but he moved to Florida about 10 years ago, 12 years ago. And before he left, I made him tie 4 ties for me. And we still have them hanging. This was
pre-tied?
They're all pre-tied. I can't tie a tie.
Oh, Pat.
Cannot tie a tie.
Oh.
You know
Not
what?
for me.
I think I've given it as many as 3 or 4 minutes several times trying to learn it and say, okay, that's enough. I don't need this. I remember buying one.
I had to tie a tie every day of my life in school.
I wish I had. Yeah. At St. Gabe's, they had no discipline. They let us come in collars, man. That was I blame St. Gabe's and Fulda. They should have made me tie a tie.
Absolutely. Well, I only had to tie the tie in high school, not grade school.
So we were
did I?
The wife and I were in San Francisco once for
Does this chair make me look like a small person?
Yes, it does.
We were in
You know what?
I got to get up for this. I got to tell you this story. Yeah, it does. Yeah.
It's too
let's have reality.
Stay down and low.
Let's have reality so everybody out there can say, why is this guy sitting in a midget chair?
Watch this.
Anyway.
Put the camera on this.
Use the word.
There you go.
So, well, what the hell?
What can they do to him?
Yeah, right. So we're in San Francisco. We got to go to a wedding.
Yeah, right.
I need a tie.
Yeah.
I go into this very nice store.
Haberdashery?
Right. Very nice store right downtown San Francisco. And I said, I got to buy a tie. And he said, okay. And he shows me some ties. I said, that's a very nice tie. Now we got one problem. Mm-hmm. You have to tie it.
So did he put it on and tie it?
I put it on me, tied it, loosened it up.
He tied it?
Tied it on there, loosened it up, and then I took it with me.
I told you my tie story.
I took it with me hanging like this.
Brooke, remember the tie story I told you guys?
Yes. Like you're carrying a dead snake.
Down the street in San Francisco. The nice thing about it, if you're doing that in San Francisco, nobody notices.
Nope.
That means something there.
I'm walking to the gas station in Durham, North Carolina.
Yes.
With, at the time, a friend of mine because they sell beer at the gas stations in North Carolina.
Yes, very, very
And a
good
mother
policy.
pulls up with her son, and it's going to be his first day of the job there. And she was panicked. She said, "Sir, do you know how to tie a tie?" And I said, "Of course I do." Yeah. So I stood behind the kid and did the tie for him, and then he looked all ship-shape and went in, and she was eternally grateful.
I remember that.
Grateful. Yeah.
That's a good story.
Yeah.
I remember.
It's not very
over?
exciting, is it?
I
Is it
remember-
over? It's over.
I remember one time in Prior Lake, my dad was still alive, and we'd moved into the house there, and my first wife and my dad was standing behind me, trying to get me to figure out how to tie the tie. He was like standing on a couch trying to do that. I'm standing there. My ex-wife's trying to help me, and I finally said, "Bleep this! I'm not going to learn."
Take it off and give it to me.
They got clip-ons.
Take it off and
I wore clip-ons.
I'm going to teach you. I can teach you in 1 minute.
I
Take
don't
that
care
off and give it
now.
to me.
What do I care now?
That's true. You'll never wear one again.
No, I won't. Although I gotta go. I'm trying to go to Sammy's wake tonight, and then there's going to be a lot of occasions to wear a tie coming up here in the next 10 years.
I think I do a version of the Shelby knot. Shelby has a very simple way to tie a knot. Mm-hmm. I developed a very simple way. It's not complicated. Of course, we are talking to a guy. Be quiet. We are talking to a guy who we had to teach how to open a bag of potato chips.
Yes.
I gotta have a scissors.
This year.
This year.
Not 30, 40 years ago. This year.
At least a year ago.
I said, look, you grab the bag at the top, you pull it apart.
It was amazing.
You were astounded.
Prior
I'm a chip opening fool now.
But prior to teaching him, it's as if
I could give a seminar on how to open chips.
prior to that, though, it's as if
lightly
Zorro,
attended seminar.
like Zorro came by and flashed the chips with the mark of Z.
You quite seriously could not
No,
open.
I used to take a
scissors and stab it in the
Fatal
middle.
attraction.
Didn't you wonder how everybody else opened chips?
I thought everybody opened them like that.
God forbid that you ever need to take medicine. You won't be able to get the cap off the jar.
I don't know.
It's just pathetic. It's just
It
There'd
is.
be sun chips out there, and not only would they be flying all over, but it would just be.
You know, the difference between you and I is you have a great curiosity.
I do.
I don't.
yeah.
You know, I say, well, what's the best way to get in here? Give me an instrument.
You know, since we're going to drag you over the coals, the other thing I've noticed about you is even though there's a stack of paper readily available at our desk, you take all of your notes on sea towels. You take out the big wide open sea towel napkins and you write notes on those.
What's a sea towel?
It's the towels we use here. One of these right
long,
here.
skinny ones, the
This thing.
rectangular
How can
ones.
you write on those? They'll break. They'll rip.
No, I don't use a pencil. I use a pen.
He's got piles and
There's
piles.
paper sitting here.
He's got all his notes on
And
towels.
it'll say things like Vikings.
Yeah, and they're all just one word. Sid.
You know, it's easier.
Taxes.
You know, the difference is you can reach the towels without standing up. You know, if you got to stand
All the
up,
way up there.
You got to get up in there.
They've got to be within his eyesight.
Boy, we've been fooling. You've been fooling people for a long time.
No, I've never fooled anybody that I have any skills as far as
Life skills.
yeah, life skills. I'm helpless.
You're basically helpless.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, if the DA passes before me, even if I'm fully healthy, I'll have to go into assisted living.
Right.
Sir, what are you doing here? I need help.
You're going to need a couple of tenders like Sid has. A couple of gals.
That would be that'd be good.
You need a break, Rook?
Before
let's
you
do
do
that.
that, Such, let me do a little traffic here for you.
Why?
We actually have a big-time make-a-move going on westbound 94 right now. It's a crash blocking most of westbound 94 just past Dale. Only the left lane is getting by, and traffic now slowing in the downtown St. Paul Capitol interchange.
What the hell? I got to go that direction.
All right, Rook. I can't find it.
We got him, folks.
What was in there? I can't remember. A mouse?
Worthless creep has had me on the floor twice. We got him. We got him because under the St. Paul sports section was a very lifelike rubber snake. And boy, did the Rook. You almost lost it, didn't you, Rook?
Listen to what.
Oh,
You got me. You got me good.
We got paid
We're
for
ahead of the game
Revenge.
now, aren't we?
Stand and I bow.
Thank you. And I,
Tell us what he said. I don't hear
I
you.
gave it the old double take. The old.
Yeah, he did.
yes, you did.
Okay, we have even worse news here for westbound 94. Patrick, it's westbound 94.
That's where I go.
And all traffic being diverted off the freeway at Dale in just west of downtown St. Paul.
Well, you're going eastbound, Patrick. If you're going to go on 94, you're going to be going eastbound.
To go out that way, yes, but I haven't made my mind up
Just
yet.
pretend you're going to my house and go that way.
Okay.
This will not affect you, Patrick, unless we get a Gawker thing, which, and right now, eastbound 94, looking normal between the
So
downtowns.
somebody rear-ended somebody. Is that the way it's looking?
It's worse than that.
Okay,
It's
not good.
It's grim. Yeah.
Hello, Miss Minnetonka.
Hello, Pat and Joe. I'm so glad I got a chance to say goodbye to you guys before you're off the air.
Well, thank you.
Do you have a cold or are you crying?
Well, I feel real sad. I might be getting a little bit of a cold too. I did send a card, but
Yes,
I don't know
thank
if you
you.
got it or
Yeah,
not.
we got the card. Yes, we did, dear.
But,
You're the most faithful card sender of all time.
Yep.
Well, now I know I could send one to you at the Star Tribune, Patrick, but where could I send one to you, Joe?
I'm still going to be here at the
Send one
station.
here because he'll be doing his podcast and he'll still have a mailbox, I would guess.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'll send yours here. I don't have a computer, so I won't be able to listen to the podcast, which I'm really sad about.
You have a cell phone?
No. You know what? I have a landline phone with answering machine. So and when I go to the library, it's to look for jobs and to just check my email.
Well, this isn't 1955, you know.
I know. I'm still in the dark ages, but you know
Holy
what,
cow,
Joe?
Miss
We
Minnetonka.
might have been separated at birth. I like to read my newspaper in the morning
Me too.
and have my breakfast, but sometimes it comes late. You have that problem too, huh, Patrick, with your paper guy?
No, my guy's been pretty good lately, except one day he missed me.
Yeah, well,
he's
this
been
week he's been good, and I thought, gee, you were probably going to have a tornado or something that happened. But I also wanted to tell you guys that I have another really good friend, and she listens to you too, and she was practically crying also when she found out you guys weren't going to be on any longer.
Well,
I mean, I don't know what they're going to put on in the time frame instead, but it's not going to be as good as you guys. I can't tell you how many times when sad things have happened in my life, and then I listen to you guys, and it just puts a smile on my face.
I got a suggestion for you, Miss
That's the
Minnetonka.
opposite for me.
Go over to your friend and listen to the podcast on her computer.
When she's at work.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm job hunting. I lost my job when
I'm sorry.
my company had a downsize, and then the
We can
attorney that
identify.
I was working for, she moved out of state. So I'm registered with some agencies, but some of the things they come up with are, some places that I'd have to get to on the freeway, and I have not been on the freeway since I left professional modeling because I've been in so many accidents.
Miss Minnetonka,
Miss
thank
Minnetonka.
you, dear. We'll let you go.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
dear.
You've been wonderful.
Thanks for your loyalty.
Miss Minnetonka, Miss
Thank you.
Rablana.
Such, your cold response to her reminds me of that day at the fair last
What
week. when-
cold response?
Oh, what is it, 1955 at your house?
Yeah.
We had a lady that showed up about 30 minutes before GL started last week at the fair, and she was waiting around to talk to you. You showed up 10 minutes before the broadcast. She is literally in tears.
I know. I talked to her.
Because she can no longer listen to you, and you started yelling at her.
I didn't yell
what
at her,
the hell
Kenny.
do you want from me, lady?
No, Kenny.
You got to get a cell phone,
Kenny,
lady.
Kenny.
Who doesn't have a cell phone?
Kenny, I was not that bad. It's not that bad. I did say, why didn't you get a cell phone?
So I don't know how they managed to do this, boys, but we actually have a conference call next after Miss Minnetonka. Joe, if you want to punch up line 10.
Yeah.
All right, we've got...
Hey, guys.
Then we got Gil,
Oh, Gil.
Clem, Orange Pop Guy, and Ray from St. Louis Park are all huddled around watching and listening to the last ever edition of Sports Talk.
Who's this? Is this Gil?
Gil.
Club, hang on. We're out with the guys, so keep her talking. Keep it clean.
Okay.
Hey, guys.
Hey, Gil. Nice to talk to you.
So you guys are the next Bauer, huh?
Yeah.
Taking days off? Okay? Taking the days off and getting paid for it. That's what I see.
Well, they didn't play yesterday, Gil.
Yeah.
Well, that's okay, but you see Bauer now, huh?
Yeah.
What's he making? Same?
Yeah, still 23.
Yep.
Yeah. Switch the catcher.
No, he's first base now, Gil.
No, he's not going back to first base, but I'll tell you what. He's taking those days off. He's putting them in the bank.
Yeah, that's right, Gil.
Literally, the check in the bank. And, he's not hurting on his knees.
Yeah.
You got to get over it. You got to get over it, Gil. That's
I don't think I can. St. Paul boy better be giving some of the money back.
Hey, Gil, I really want to talk to Orange Pop guy. Is Orange
really.
Pop guy there?
He's
Pass the phone over.
Right now. He's doing an upper decker. He'll be around a couple minutes.
Jeez, Gil, what's wrong with you?
It's the full disclosure. We tell everything. Hey, I got somebody to talk to you.
All right.
I think Orange Pop guy might have been my favorite because that's all
Probably
he
a
said.
gynecologist now. or
That's
something.
all he said. Orange Pop.
Oh, hello, Patrick and Joseph. How you doing?
Hey, Clem,
how you
are you?
doing? How's the farm?
Oh, the farm pretty good out in the western Kentucky. And, I know it sounded a little older today, but just want to say thank to both of you. Thank to both of you for a lot of time with you. I remember.
We supported you through all the troubles, Clem.
Well, I think you boys are being a pairs of gentlemen.
Yes,
One pair of gentlemen. And I remember Patrick. I always famous Patrick because Patrick comes down to see my mama make those fried pies.
Fried pies, man.
Western Hills of Kentucky. He was big at that time. He put a lot of pies. He keep mama busy at that time. And she
Lucy.
How many pies you want? She said. And Russ said, I'd like one more pie. One more pie. And Joe, I know you were a little hard on me over the year.
Yeah.
And
You were a little hard on me, Clem.
well, I think it has to be. Coach, when you coach in the Big Ten, NCAA National Basketball programs, national champion, two-time national champion.
I know.
That include a home game when you're not at homes. Remember that?
Remember that? You're at the Metrodome.
Was it Metrodome or Target Center?
I don't know where.
Hey, Clem, we just had the 20th anniversary of the Final Four season, and nobody even gave you a mention. Nobody even let you come to town, man.
It's tough to be vacated.
Yes, it is.
When you invisible. That kind of sound weird, doesn't it?
It does. It does. Yes.
But when you have not recognitions
Yes.
of one national championship,
Yep.
one national championship, it's really hard to process this.
I know.
And but the future of the University of Minnesota basketball program with this row the boat is going to be okay.
Okay.
I don't think we have time for Ray from St. Louis Park.
He's going to be okay. So we hope they're going to row the river boats all
Yep.
the way down to the
All
west
right.
hills of Kentucky.
Well, thank you, Clem. Thank you.
One more gentleman want to talk to you.
No, we don't have
Well,
time.
we might have time.
We got the weather.
No, we don't have the weather, Pat. We don't do weather in this. What?
Orange Park.
There he is.
There he is. There's my guy.
He must have been done with business, huh?
We're going to be
I
back.
have met Orange Pop guy
I have
through the years.
He would hold for 20 minutes to say that.
Orange Pop. What? We'd say Orange Pop.
We'll be back, but now thanks to our good friends in Owatonna, Minnesota, at Federated Insurance, where it's their business to protect your business, and nobody does that better than Federated. It's Frank Miller and Your Money Now.
Stocks finished a bit lower today as trade tensions continue to worry Wall Street. President Trump says that more tariffs on Chinese goods are ready to roll. Trump also reportedly eyeing trade with Japan. Told the Wall Street Journal today that he was, quote, still bothered by the terms of U.S. trade with Japan. And that comment has some investors fearing that a tariff on Japanese auto imports may be on the way. In economic news today, the Labor Department released its monthly jobs report, which showed that employment surged more than expected. Non-farm payroll employment up 201,000 jobs. The unemployment rate, meanwhile, held steady at 3.9%. And it was kind of a mixed bag in the world of the NFL and Nike. According to Market Watch, Nike's online sales were up 31% after the 2-minute ad featuring quarterback Colin Kaepernick ad during the NFL season opener last night. Not so good news for the NFL, though, as the opening game fell to a 9-year low in terms of viewership. 19 million viewers tuned in to see the Eagles beat the Falcons. It's the second straight year of double-digit declines for NBC and the NFL opening day. May be worth noting, however, that the start of the game was pushed back a bit by lightning. And that's your money now on 1500 ESPN. Here's Kenny Soulman Olson.
Well, thank you very much, Frank. And I got to say, it's been a pleasure talking to you on tape low these many, many years. And I do actually have a little bit of traffic for you and good news between the downtowns. That incident we had westbound 94 just past Dale has cleared. All lanes are open and traffic is starting to spool it back up again, but expect a slowdown kicking in the Capitol Interchange. If you're traveling eastbound if you're eastbound and down, loaded up in trucking, you're looking at a 20-minute drive from downtown Minneapolis over to St. Paul. And the outbound crowd on the Hot Mess Express, westbound 94, running from the Fish Lake split up to 101 in Rogers, you're looking at
a trailer then. You and Augie? No. You and the wife and the baby?
My wife and myself and the baby.
Yeah.
The baby. And we decided to get a pizza and go home and maybe have a little pizza. But it's only about 2:30 in the morning. So it's the blush of the evening. Not ready to quit drinking yet. So we get home about 2:30 and we decide, well, the baby, he's about 1 then. Jimmy's about 1. We said, he might want some pizza, Let's go ahead and get the baby out. So I go ahead and reach over and grab Jimmy out of the crib, right? Mm-hmm. Turn around, take a step. I'm in this dark room in there on a linoleum floor, this cheap trailer. My right foot goes in this wagon that the kid has in there. And there I go, airborne, holding this baby, holding this year-old who's sleepy, wondering what's going on. And I'm about the same size as I am now, big. And I go airborne, come down on my back. That trailer shook for about an hour and a half.
What did the little woman have to say about that?
Well, I had a good explanation. We said Jim he was awake anyway. We thought he might want some pizza.
Did you have to perform some sort of gymnastics to keep from? You would land on a kid. You would have killed him.
That would have been it.
So your wife really would have been mad.
She would have really been out of.
So did you flip around in the air to stay backside?
Held on tight and said, "Get ready for this. This is going to be quite a trip for you, son." Bang! I'll never forget that.
Did it knock the wind out of you?
I don't know. I just holding on to that baby so hard, hoping I didn't kill it. If I did, I knew the mother would really be mad.
I think, again, ladies and gentlemen, 6 years ago tonight, I went in the building with him and said, keep him here, do a loud room, do whatever. Don't let him out till he's ready.
So that had to be the show of April 27th, 1987. Mm-hmm. Which would have been the 6-year anniversary.
Mom really would have been upset.
I still can't figure out why that girl divorced me.
So it was either me or Woodley running the board for that one. Really? I don't remember because I started
1987.
I started in 87. Wow. Yeah, right after Woods left.
Yeah, Woods went up to be a sports anchor man for $11,000 a year in Duluth. They were big payers up there.
Here's Johnny Heidt.
Thanks, Joe. Sunny and 75 degrees. Twins tonight. They're back at it, playing the Royals at Target Field. Steven Gonzalez pitches for the Twins. Heath Philmeyer.
Stop, John.
Yeah,
stop.
Sure.
Yeah, you're on.
I am the real Orange Pop guy.
Orange Pop!
I've got over 300 bleeping shows on cassette tape that I was just looking at. Back to 1988.
Would you please tell us?
When's the first time you called?
When's the first time you called? And what did you mean by that?
Who knows? Who knows? We were out one night. I was in high school. We're out one night at a country kitchen or something. And I said, you gotta listen to these guys. They're funny. They're great. And through the years, I got many people to start listening to you. And, the fake Orange Pop guys, fake brothers of tranquility, and, the fake tranquility. The first time we heard our Sid, my God, I'm sitting in a Target parking lot in Fridley, and I spit up all over the place. I couldn't believe how Pat wasn't there at the time, I don't think. One of you was gone. I got that on tape somewhere, too. But yeah, so I've sent you guys golf balls through interoffice mail at the Tribune and all sorts of stuff. So,
What's your first name?
John.
Hey,
thank you.
How old were you when you first called? Like 16 or something?
Oh, probably 17, yeah, right around there.
And you've actually had a successful life, haven't you?
Yes, I semi-retired from the newspaper after having almost 30 years in, and so that was a few years ago. So yeah.
Okay. All right, thank you.
One more time. Orange pop!
Thank you, John.
That was way better than the other callers. Yeah.
Orange
posture.
Reeves, you better see if there's any other gems here.
Orange Pop is retired.
Take
we
one.
aren't.
One.
Yeah, I made him promise to be brief.
Yes, Ingy.
Oh, hey, I just wanted to share my favorite sports talk memory. Pat was doing the show solo back in June of 2005. And I called in with a half hour to go, and he said, all right, we got one caller on the line, and it's Ingy, so we need you to fill the line so we can keep him off the air.
Thanks, Ingy.
All right, Ingy, goodbye.
John Heidt.
Here's Johnny Heidt. The world could be coming to an end.
News notes from today. We do have this dastardly story. Authorities say a benefit jar was stolen from a Richmond gas station Sunday night.
Saw this post on social media. These two should go where.
Cold Spring Richmond Police Chief Jason Blum confirmed the jar was taken about 10 o'clock last night. Blum said the department is working with the business to try and identify the individual or individuals who are responsible.
And what were we donating to, Johnny?
That I don't know.
Okay.
I think it was a child's. It was a specific child's benefit.
Was it really? Oh,
yes.
My gosh, these people. From the Star Tribune, a 19-year-old man charged
There was
today.
only $21. I bought a 6-pack. That's all I had.
What do you want? Don't say that.
There wasn't much in there. It's hardly worth the drive up there.
19-year-old man
Cost you
was
more than that in gas.
19-year-old man charged today for altering a Brooklyn Center Arby's sign to include racial and sexual slurs. This happened over last weekend, prompted the company to apologize after photos made the rounds on social media.
Well, why do you have to apologize that somebody, some vandal
He
did
didn't
it?
apologize.
No, I know. Why did Arby's have to
The way they
apologize?
caught him, though, Johnny, is just fantastic.
Usandini Christopher Colling Harper of Minneapolis, charged with gross
He's
misdemeanor.
been marked for life since he was called Usadini. He
Usadini.
had no chance.
He's been charged with gross.
He was set for a life of crime from the day he was named Usadini.
Gross misdemeanor criminal defamation along with disorderly conduct and public nuisance. According to charges, a Brooklyn Center police officer was flagged down by a passing driver who pointed out the advertising sign at Arby's, which was altered to read, "Now hiring," and it had groups described with racial and sexual slurs.
All right.
The officer removed the message, returned to the restaurant once it opened. Manager said the last employees had left at 12:15 in the morning.
So this was a ground level sign and not an elevated one. Huh? Must not have been the overhead.
You get on your tippy toes.
Yes.
A detective reviewed Facebook and noted that the first person to post a picture of the sign was Chris Harper.
Okay,
This is how they got
that's
him.
a smart move,
At
buddy.
3:31 a.m.
Okay.
The photo was accompanied with the caption, "Seems like Arby's hiring in BC."
Mm-hmm.
The detective spoke with Harper's girlfriend, who admitted that, yes, he told her he had altered the sign because he thought it was funny. The detective then met up with Harper, who admitted he changed letters on the sign, quote, because he was bored while waiting for the bus and thought it would be funny. He admitted taking the picture of the sign and posting it to Facebook.
Hey, Joe, you never hung up on the conference call.
Which one? Right there?
Conference call.
Yeah. I get it. Yeah. Is Rook on the line?
No.
What's going on?
Conference call.
What?
You're not on. I don't hear it.
What line? What line are you?
Never mind.
I think it's okay.
Yeah.
We'll just pass on.
We'll get her later.
Just a heads up, at the Shannon Open for cystic fibrosis at Highland National Golf Course, some of the fellas, even though they sent in upside-down pictures, they have their speaker and are listening to the last Garage Logic and Sports Talk broadcast.
Wonderful.
And these guys have been loyalists forever. So.
Wonderful.
Thanks, fellas.
Wonderful.
New research shows
Too
that
bad you didn't have a meter.
Right. Yeah, that would have been 4. That would have been 4 1 to 6s, baby.
1 to
6s.
You think 1 out of 4 of you would have had a meter?
I wore a tie for this.
Yes.
new research shows that pot isn't the drug of choice for just the young anymore. More middle-aged folks and even seniors are lighting up nowadays. The federal survey data showed 9% of adults aged 50 to 64 and 3% of those aged 65 or older have used marijuana within the last year. Senior researcher Joseph Palomar said that's pretty much 1 out of 10, much lower than a lot of other age groups, but it's increasing steadily. Double the percentage of those aged 50 to 64 who reported marijuana use 1 decade ago. That was only at 4.5%. More than 7 times the percentage of adults aged 65 and older who reported use back then, according to the research.
I'm going to start hanging out at the hookah lounge up the street.
Oh, God.
John, are you going to dip into the Hall of Fame folder?
I will.
All right.
Picking up that free money Saturday morning. Right, that's right. Now, I have an admission to make. I don't know, Pat, you may get up and leave the room when you hear what I did. I waved. I waved. To who? I waved. In a human type of wave? In a human type of wave? No. You know what I'm driving? I don't believe this. A human wave? I did this. I waved to people. I waved. Well, that's nothing wrong with that. Pat, I waved. I waved. You know, I went, while you were in the parade? Like, in the boat. I waved. I did it. I waved. No. He waved to the cameras. I did a wave. Cameras at the boat. The guy came, and he had the mini cam, and I froze up, and I didn't know what to do, and I started waving. He's down. He's on the floor. The KSTP Talk Studios here in Maplewood have shaken to the foundations. I waved. I don't know what to do. The guy, listen, it's hypnotic. The guy's there, and he says, come on, give us a little wave. And you start out like this. You kind of think, I can't do this, because, I spent my whole life ripping this. Next thing you know, your hand's about here, and then it's going like this. I don't believe it. And the cameraman's kind of doing this, and the next thing you know, you're doing this. I hate to tell you what I would have done, but people have been arrested for it. Well, or food. They did it in American Graffiti, if you know what. Yeah. When they were cruising. That's what you should have done. Should have mooned them. Unbelievable. And it was on the newscast last night. Oh, did they show you? Care salutes Antique Motors. I am doing this like a big nerd geek or whatever I was. Why didn't you call and tell me? I couldn't. I just couldn't. And I knew I had to tell you. I just had to confess. I can't believe it. I had to get it off my chest. I had to get it off. Single most humiliating thing I've ever heard of anyone. And the guy was so nice. What's that photographer's name? You know him as well as I know. I think he's a Vietnamese. Richie Nessler. No, he's a Vietnamese guy. He's been there for years. He knows Jim Gately and a bunch of those guys. And he just came out there and he pointed the thing, and I just kind of kept my hands at my side. But then Andy was with you. He waved up a storm. No. Emily did. Andy was kind of hesitant at first, and then all of a sudden, everybody's just... It's awful. It is awful. Well, that's it. I feel better. I don't know if I can go on. You got it off your chest? I had to get it off. I had to say something. I had to tell somebody.
We better get Johnny's last story. Yeah, we've been ridiculing the hell out of Carol Levin since they came on the air and changed their name to Carol Levin.
But listening to you work it out in your head, Royce, and then boom, it clicks. Oh, that's hysterical.
A couple more stories from the Hall of Fame folder, including your favorite, Joe. We'll finish with that one. Let's start with an Australian pig nursing a hangover after downing 18 cans of beer and going on a rampage. The Mirror reports the pig stole beer from campers before before trying to fight a cow. Then took a drunken swim, eventually passing out after the bender in Port Hedland, Western Australia.
Oh, goodness. That's great.
A camper told Australian News it was the middle of the night and it was these people camping opposite us. They heard this crunching of cans. They got out their torch and shone it on the pig, and there he was scrunching away at all the cans. Mm-hmm. Some other people camped right on the river saw him running around their vehicle being chased by a cow. It kept going round and around. Then it went into the river and swam across to the middle. Australian authorities are still trying to find the animal, but so far they've had no success.
Oh, might have drowned.
Spokeswoman Fiona Findlay said it was last seen near the river under a tree. I think today it might just be nursing its head.
Wow. That is too good to be true.
Prosecutors say an alleged carjacker in Chicago contacted the vehicle's owner and offered to sell the 1998 Chevy Malibu back to her for $50. Assistant State's Attorney Aaron Antonetti said Jarrah Brown received a ride in the victim's car from a friend of the owner, and he forced the woman out of the driver's seat while the car was stopped. Brown then contacted the owner of the car, a 19-year-old woman, and offered to sell her back the 98 Chevy Malibu for $50. The woman arranged to meet with Brown, contacted police to accompany her. He was arrested at the scene.
It doesn't sound like something I'd be too eager to get back.
No. And it was around 8:50 p.m. on a Tuesday evening when David Wagner tried to light his hearing aid with a lighter.
My favorite one.
Apparently mistaking it for a cigarette.
Because this is only one small part of the story.
53-year-old Wagner was behind the wheel of a Saturn in the Jensen Beach area around a Martin County Sheriff's Office deputy. When he smelled alcohol, called another deputy to finish up a DUI investigation. As that deputy approached, Wagner was in the driver's seat. The affidavit says he was trying to light one of his hearing aids with a lighter. I noticed that there was another hearing aid in his lap. When asked what he was doing, Wagner said he was trying to light a cigarette.
That's a hearing aid.
The affidavit says I told him no, he was trying to light his hearing aid. At that point, he stopped. Noting a strong odor of alcohol, the deputy asked Wagner whether he'd been imbibing, and he said he had. Wagner told the officer he'd had way too much. He said he had had about half a bottle of Jägermeister.
Oh, goodness. Help me.
Jägermeister, originated in Germany, has a logo of a stag with a cross between its horns and is a popular herbal liquor that tastes somewhat medicine-y and is 70% proof. Wagner said he went to get a chocolate milkshake for his wife, whose bottom teeth had been removed earlier in the day. The affidavit says he tried to get the milkshake but couldn't get out of the park, Ocean Breeze Park, and returned home instead.
All right.
Now, Wagner was wearing a brace, said he had a broken foot.
Oh, my God.
Nearly fell as he stood.
It sounds like my conversation with Railroad Dick.
A breath test showed Wagner's blood alcohol content was greater than 3 times the legal limit. He was arrested. Affidavit doesn't state whether Wagner's wife got the chocolate shake, although she told a deputy a neighbor could help her out, and she'd be okay.
Oh, Johnny, that's the best. Thank you.
You bet.
Thank you. Against Disgusting Sports.
Bunch of kids from White Bear Lake.
Yep.
Elmer and Ernestina.
And
they went back to Sunday nights with us, Elmer and Ernestina. Attic guy. And Dan Rounds. He was several different people. The Walker Independent, the Pilot Independent, the Walker Pilot Independent. Speedy.
Commented on marathons.
Speedy was very upset when they peed behind trees instead of he didn't like that. Angry Ed.
Yep.
We just had a photo at the State Fair of the great Angry Ed. Railroad Dick. Of course, Louis
Other
Cardinal.
than that, Railroad, how was your day?
Yeah. Louis Cardinal, one of the all-time greats. A guy that every week he goes. Right. Every week, Louis. Orange Pop guy, we just talked to him.
Yep.
And I think because of
Judd Evans. Old Judd. Remember Judd?
Freddie the Fake Gardener?
Freddie the Fake Gardener.
Lucky that it grows at all.
Freddie, Judd Evans. One of my favorites all time is because of the concept. Bill Quillisi. Frank's imaginary brother.
Who called Larry
King one night and identified himself as Bill Quillisi, Frank's imaginary brother. And Larry was left somewhat confused.
Did you mention Swedberg?
Fernando.
yeah.
He was
You
fantastic.
were
We can't,
marvelous.
that's the trouble with trying to make a list.
We probably have left people
There
off
were
it.
25 and 30. We're not trying to.
Dark Star?
Well, we made him. He
We
didn't make
invented
us.
him.
Yeah, we made him. Yeah. We apologize
I'm
to the
sorry for
entire
that, by
state
the way.
of Minnesota.
I'm sorry for that.
God love him.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was.
Pat, I love you.
Yes.
Thank you.
You know what? I told somebody 35 years. I don't think you and I ever got in a real row, did we?
Yeah, it's about time we start.
That's right. I mean,
I'll slap you upside the head.
that was fantastic.
Thanks, fellas.
1,500.
Fun.
Thank you all. 1,500. ESPN is KSTP, St. Paul, Minneapolis. Thank you for the memories.
Yes.
But we were intelligent.